Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from. You are welcome to the second part of the BOFAD monthly report review, where we'll continue from where we stopped earlier. So we'll be going back again to the template, as you can see here. So on the template, we are going to discuss here the monthly HL updates. This report is really massive because it contains a lot of information on it. Okay, so here we have information from the beginning of the year. So we have the highest and the lowest prices for each of the months, okay, as they occur. That's how this happens, although I think I changed this for the 2025. So okay, let me go to the 2025. Yeah, okay, so this is 2025. Okay. So this is the information for 2025. Let me see if I updated. Good, perfect. Okay. So this is our monthly high and low for every month: January, February, March, April, and all the rest like that until December. Okay. So that's how this information had been. So, and here we have, you can see here we have the maximum for the year and we have the minimum for the year. Okay, so this is every month performance that's been updated here. So from this performance every month, I think, so let me just show you more of the important information on this sheet. Okay, so here, at the bottom here, so for example, here you can see I have the January updates, highest and lowest for January. I have the highest and lowest as at March. I have the highest and lowest as at June. That's the cumulative September, and this is December. Although December has not been fully updated, so let me just go ahead and update the December so that you'll be able to see and catch the fun easily. Okay, good. So for December, I'm going to put those figures here. You can see. So perfect. So for example, look at AUD in January. Our highest price was 99.2 and our lowest price was 95.6. In March, our highest price remains the same. Our lowest price changed from 95.6 to 91.8. In June, our highest price still remains the same, but our lowest price changed from 91.8 to 86. In September, nothing changed. Our high is still 99.2. Our low still remains 86. But by December, our high changed from 99.2 to 104.7. And our lowest price remains the same. So you can see the market movement moving from 95.6 to 86 and back to 104.7. Can you see that? So it's really massive move on that effect. So that's a summary of those information that we have at the top, broken down into quarterly basis. So for example, here look at gold. Beginning in January, we have 2818 to 2582 as the lowest. You can see our lowest never changed throughout the year up to now. So which means the high had moved from 2818 to 3058, from 3058 to 3500, from 3500 to 3872, and from 3872 to 4498. What a massive move for the year. This is crazy. So please, these templates, this information are very crucial if followed accordingly and accurately, because we expect the market actually to expand. Look at silver as well. You can see the highest at 31.8, the lowest at 28.7. In February, the highest moved from 31.8 to 34.3. the lowest remained the same. In June, the lowest moved to 27.8, and the highest also changed up to 36.9. And in September, the lowest remained the same. The high moved from 36.9 to 47.2. And in December, currently at 71.1, but today is 72.6. So this is a massive move from 47.2 in September to about 72.7 in December 2025. Just 3 months apart, and the move is crazy. So this is how powerful this data can help us to identify good entry points for the market and taking adequate decisions and monitoring the move of the market for the long term. Okay, so that's this on this aspect of information, and you can see as well telling us the decision that needs to be taken. Good. So that's one part. So the second side here is you can see here we have the average high and the average low. So this data has been updated every month, and that is what we have on this side. So you can see here we have for January, the average high and low for January, for February, for March, for April. So this is a cumulative average. So it's not just on monthly, it's a cumulative from the beginning of the year. So it helps to absorb the previous data. So when you are talking of March updates, it means March also included January and February. When we are talking of June update, it means it's talking about January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, so that's what this does. So this helps to be able to blend the average prices and monitor the direction of the market as accurate and timely as possible. So so for our AUD-JPY, you can see the market movement of the average high and low. So you see the market trend coming downwards until it peaked at this point. And you see, so after peaking at this point, it didn't go down again below this point. It started rising back again. So from this point downwards was a good market to sell. And then from this point is a good market to buy upwards. As you can see here, the current price is about 104.7. So this is just 100. So it means by buying here adequately, the market will be in a very good profit by now at 104.7. Okay. So same thing with AUD-USD. You see the market peaking at the bottom around this point at 0.608 or 0.605. And then the market moving upwards. The market currently is now about 0.669, 0.668. So you can see a massive move upwards from there. So the earlier we identify the first extreme is going to help us to take the best decision for the rest of the year. Let's look at silver. That showed you can see silver from 30 or 29 point something. You see it moving upwards. The peak here is at, you can see 45, but the real price now, it's about 71. Can you imagine? So even the current price is far, far above this. So this just gives us the entry point to buy, and then we follow the trend until the current position. So let's also look at gold again. You can see gold as well follow the same trend. Like I showed you earlier, the current gold market is now about 4,400 plus, but here it's at 3,600 or 3,700. So it's far, far. So, but it shows us to enter a buy as quickly as possible around this point. Okay. So now, in identifying that as well, I've been able to break the report into two. So which is the ISO. In this previous report, we have all the highs and the lows together. Okay. But in the next report, I'm going to show you here, we have broken them down into highs. So this includes only the highs and on the right side, it includes only the lows. Okay, so what it means is that we are able to identify when to enter for a buy and when to enter for a sell if the market is trying to reverse back. Okay, that's what this is able to help us to achieve. Okay, so how do we achieve that? So if you look at AUD USD, for example, here, you'll see that this is the high side and this is the low side. So the low side is telling us to start a buy at 0.606. Can you see that? 0.607 to start a buy at this point because the market didn't go down again from this time. So right from here, we enter a buy market and the buy market goes all the way to 0.63, to 0.655, to 0.669 to get to the highest point. Can you see that? So all we are waiting for now is for the market to start the downtrend, and then we are going to use the high side as the entry point for a sell trend. So that's the plan. Okay. So let's look at the example of the AUD JPY we checked before. So AUD JPY, so for AUD JPY as well. So let's look at it. So for AUD JPY, you can see this is the high. So we entered a sell from this entry point at 99. You can see the low then was 97. So we entered a sell at this point. The market moves downwards to this peak for the high, but then we enter a buy at the low side, which is around 91 point something. Okay, so we enter a buy from this point and then we follow it upwards to change at the high. So currently here, even though the current price, like in the market now, is about 104.7 or 104.6, but it means that we'll be able to follow the market to a sell trend, from a sell trend to a buy trend until it gets to the peak of the market. So this gives us a very good opportunity to enter the market conveniently, comfortable, without any fear, and follow the trend until it reaches the extreme. Okay, so let's look at gold, for example. So here we have for gold as well, and here we also have for gold. So you can see both of them were just flying upwards. So we entered the buy from about 25 plus here, and then the market went all the way, can you see, to above 3,500, 3,700, even to 4,400 plus. Can you see that? So this market was just a buy all the way. Can you see that? So this market was a buy all the way. So all it just needs for us at that point was just to follow this information and take action on it as quickly as possible. And as well, we can see from the decision tree here, decision tree has shown us the decision of the market as buys or as sell. So you can see a crude oil is sell, USD CHF is sell, USD CAD is sell, New Zealand CAD is sell, GAP CAD, CAD JPY, all others are buy using the current price. So you can see that the market, the template itself, has been able to give us a good information of when best to enter the market. Can you see that? And it's also, like, for example, look at a buy here. It's telling us to buy at a worst case at 6,000. If you had bought at 6,000 as a worst case by now, the market is about 6,900 or 6,800, would have made a lot of profit. You can see, and here as well, it's telling us to sell at 7. So it's telling us to sell. Let's look at the sell point. So for the sell, it's telling us to sell at 69.7. So if you had sold at 69.7, the current price now is about 56.4. You would have made profit all the way down. Okay, so this is one of the things that I want to emphasize on and see how it's going to help us in 2026. Okay, so identify the market trend from the information that is being provided, and then we take action as quickly as possible. Okay, so that's it on this. So let's look at, so also think we still have some additional templates information on the right side here. So this is our average monthly high and low for the month's highest and lowest price. And then it tells us the action to take. You can see here for AUDJPY, it was initially sell, so which means we sold from 97.4 to 90.7, as you can see here, and from 90.7, the market became a buy until now. And you see that. So from 90.7, the market never went down. It was an uptrend. Look at gold. Gold was buy from 2,700. There was a time it came down just once, but the sell didn't reach the 2,700. So at the end of the day, it still continued further as a buy. Now you see that. So same thing with crude oil. Oil was sell just once. It went to a buy a bit, but continued the sell. Silver as well was initially a buy, went down for a sell, and returned back to a buy all throughout the month. Can you see that? So these decision trees would also help us to identify the opportunities and also gives us the entry and the exit prices. So you can see here, like I told you earlier, this was a buy at 90.7. Here, you can see here, this was a sell at 0.62, sorry, at 0.63 initially, a buy at 0.62, and then a sell at 0.65, a buy at 0.62, a sell at 0.66. Can you see that? So the market was going upwards. Can you see that? So look at this, for example, Euro JPY was a buy from this point at 158, and the current price is 182.5. Wow. So you can see right from February or March, the market has been an uptrend. So let's also look at silver again. Look at silver. So you can see silver as well. Look at it, sell at a 2.7, buy at 30.3. And ever since then, it has been a buy all the way. The current price here was 61.9, but now the current price is now at 72. Can you see that? So it's a real massive growth of the market based on this information. So with this, it's able to help us to identify the market move and the market trend and how the direction had been. So even from this graph, for example, we could easily identify the move of the market as well. So let's see, for example, here. So you can see, just like we checked earlier, market came down, go to this peak and reversed up. Let's look at gold. You can see it's uptrend. Let's look at Euro JPY. You can see it's uptrend. So this information helps us with a better decision as quickly as possible, especially for the long term. Okay. So that's it. So I believe this template has been able to show us how this information can be used effectively for decision taking in the right direction. Okay. So thank you very much. I remain yours and only Oluwase Fadare. So hope you'll be able to learn a lot from this my explanation for the performance of 2025. And for those of you that want to get in touch, can get in touch with me at fadinvest@yahoo.ie, fadinvest@yahoo.ie. Have a great time. My name is Oluwase Fadare. Cheers and have a great 2026 ahead. Bye.